Swala zima kuhusiana na ruwaza yake, ukipenda maono yake katika siku za usoni kama jaji mkuu.
As everybody has said, they are central to the operations of the judiciary going into the future. The vision for the judiciary and the report on the 5th cycle of the performance management and measurement understanding of the judiciary. As the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice has said, two documents speak to each other. On 21st May 2021, I took the oath of office as Kenya's 15th Chief Justice, following a transparent and competitive recruitment process that was conducted by the Judicial Service Commission. And I want to thank all of you who have stood by me, congratulating me and giving me words of wisdom and encouragement. Today, I want to share with you the roadmap for what I perceive as the future of the judiciary under my stewardship. I see my tenure as Chief Justice as affording me and all those who work in the judiciary, the judges, magistrates, judicial staff, and the stakeholders, all of us, we've been given an opportunity to champion the cause of realizing the dream of many Kenyans for a judiciary that is transformative. That dream is to see a judiciary develop into a vibrant, efficient, independent, accessible institution that is responsive to the aspirations of Kenyans and serves as a true guardian of the rule of law and our democracy. It is within this context that I consulted with the leadership of the judiciary, and I'm most grateful for their insightful views and comments, the management, and a small team of my office, assisted by Downberg International, to come up with the vision for the judiciary. This vision builds on the achievements of previous judicial reforms encompassed in the two preceding blueprints: the Judiciary Transformation Framework, which we all know as the JTF 2012-2016, and the Sustaining Judiciary Transformation, SJT 2017-2021. And my vision also is aligned with the Judiciary's Strategic Plan 2019-2023, which we are implementing. Ladies and gentlemen, this vision for the judiciary is drawn from the pronouncement in the preambular provisions of the Constitution that firstly acknowledges the supremacy of Almighty God, who is our creator and author of justice, recognizing that we partner with God to discharge justice. It also recognizes the sovereignty of the people who have donated their power to the judiciary. We have drawn from Article 10 on the values and principles of national governance that guide us, Article 19(2) on the purpose of the Bill of Rights that we will be implementing to secure the human rights of our people. These provisions highlight and affirm that the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is a charter for social transformation. Thus is the anchor for this vision. Further, the Constitution in its values, principles, and rules reflect the desire by Kenyans to break with our country's past, which, as we all know, was an authoritarian governance and an equal society. Thankfully for our Constitution, it strikes radically and paves a different path of creating a democratic, accountable, participatory, and equal state and society. It means that Kenyans, by enacting the 2010 Constitution, intended to create a responsive state geared towards enhancing public welfare and constructing a just society. And just to celebrate this profound Constitution, allow me to thank you for appreciating this bench of women sitting here, because 11 years ago, this bench was made up of men. So this is a transformative Constitution. It is the social transformation foresight of the Constitution that informs this vision for the judiciary, and we have christened it social transformation through access to justice, otherwise STAJ, STAJ. It is a vision born out of the reality that justice is cross-cutting and is a natural desire, a legitimate expectation of every person to be treated justly and to treat others justly. We consider all people and parties stakeholders in the delivery of justice, whilst also recognizing that we, the judiciary, do not serve ourselves, but are established to serve others. The judiciary, under this leadership, will therefore be focused on opening and broadening its doors to litigants and rendering justice to all who seek it within our borders. But this goal of widening access to justice will only be attained when we have a place for efficiency, when we have a place to consider the cost effectiveness of the justice that we deliver, when we have a place to consider how accessible are we, when we have a place to consider how we can be expeditious without turning litigants years on end, and a fair system of delivering justice. Bearing this in mind, this vision is predicated on 5 guiding principles, and these are accessibility and efficiency, transparency and accountability, inclusiveness and shared leadership, independence of our operational mandates, cooperative dialogue, and social justice. The implementation of the social transformation through access to justice vision under these principles is geared towards ensuring that our judiciary is a strong institution that will be accessible and efficient and will protect the rights of all, especially the vulnerable. The team of judges, judicial officers, and judiciary staff are inspired and committed to excellence in the delivery of justice. The institution's financial mechanisms are also strengthened to support the independence and integrity of the judiciary. That we have a place for a strong and deep partnerships with those that we work with, that will enhance coordination in the administration of justice and the public trust and confidence in the judicial system. Ladies and gentlemen, the reforms envisaged are informed by the realization that despite tremendous achievements realized in the past 10 years since we embarked on the judiciary transformation after the 2010 Constitution, we all acknowledge the judiciary continues to face challenges related to access to justice and responsive justice that has been impeded by a huge backlog of cases. And this issue which we continuously address of accountability, because even though we are independent, we are accountable. Addressing these challenges requires an approach which recognizes the gains made, but also seeks to chart a path that ensures that we meet the goal of building an institution that is truly responsive to the public needs and inspires and engenders the confidence of the people that we serve. In addition, while access to justice is crucial, the judiciary should always strive to establish itself as a world-class institution with effective structures, norms, and systems which position us as an engine for society transformation. And this is truly what is envisaged in the Constitution. Towards this end, we will strive to remove barriers to access to justice and ensure that all persons are enabled to seek and obtain redress for their grievances through formal and informal institutions of justice in compliance with the human rights standards. In addition, we will endeavor to ensure that public walk with us this journey because we serve them, and that we will engender their confidence in the institution of the judiciary by dealing firmly and swiftly, but also fairly, with concerns that they raise relating to the integrity and also relating to the issues of corruption that may arise within the institution of the judiciary. To comply with the constitutional demands that we must guarantee justice for all persons regardless of their status, that we must deliver justice expeditiously and without undue regard to technicalities, and take steps to reduce obstacles that hinder access to justice, we will place particular and determined focus on reducing proximity and physical access to courts and ensuring that we hear and determine those cases in all the corners of this country. We should not have any litigants traveling more than 100 kilometers to access a court. And no court case should be dragging in judicial corridors for more than 3 years in a trial court and 1 year in an appellate court. To achieve this, we need everybody's support. The main thrust of this vision for the judiciary is to ensure that we have a judiciary that is efficient in services. I sit in the Supreme Court as the president, and I envisage the same standard that I will be embracing in that court will be the same standard that will govern the magistrate learning, the smallest court, the small claims court, or the Cadi's court, or the tribunals, all the way to the superior court. We will have the same standards that will be guiding us. What this means is that every court station will be strived to be a center of excellence in the delivery of justice. After all of us in those are lawyers, are trained in the work that we do. To ensure our courts and tribunals become centers of excellence, the judiciary's efforts will be focused on implementing strategies and innovations geared towards eliminating the delay and backlog. This will involve embracing active case management, such that in every court registry, every case will be under active management, either by the clerk, either by the deputy registrar, or by the judicial officer or the judge who is overseeing the docket. We will be reforming the operations of our registries to ensure that all files are monitored so that they don't stay inactive in the registries. reforming our court practices so that the practice of adjournment of scheduled proceedings is eliminated, and the enhancement of the place of technology in our operations. We will also seek to improve the work environment to ensure that our judges, judicial officers, and staff, members of the tribunals, have an enabling environment that supports optimal performance and improves litigants' experiences. It would be remiss not to mention and express my gratitude to all judges, judicial officers, members of the tribunals, and our very, very faithful members of staff of the judiciary, the directorates, for the hard work they have put over the years and continue to put to ensure that our courts are running. I particularly want to commend you for the innovation you embraced since the COVID-19 pandemic struck us in 2020. The pandemic has changed the way our courts operate. It has forced us to accelerate the uptake and use of ICT in our operations. And I really want to thank all the actors in the justice system, including our development partners. I see the IDLO, our very faithful partner, is here, the European Union, PRINT, the World Bank, the UN, and so many other partners who came to support us during this period of pandemic to ensure that the wheels of justice kept on turning, notwithstanding the devastating effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our aim is to continue to improve our service delivery and to continue embracing and improving on technology as an enabler in ensuring access to justice. The process that follows the launch of this vision is the development of the next 10-year judiciary blueprint. This is just a roadmap that marks the steps we are going to follow, which will guide the operations for the next 10 years. The vision that we unveil today, as we discussed it with the various teams, the very big dream we have for the judiciary could not fit in the normal 5-year plan. Therefore, we decided to think about 10 years. Because we have many, many things we want to do. The judiciary will take charge of the infrastructure development, which, as we know, is wanting, especially in Nairobi. We are all squeezed and sitting nearly on one another in this building, which was built in 1935. The Constitution of Kenya gave us the Supreme Court, but we have not built a home for the Supreme Court. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to join us now to have a dignified Supreme Court and quarter of the judiciary, which is a state-of-the-art building like we have the Houses of Parliament. You'll also join us as we try to establish a home for our Judiciary Training Institute, which is currently homeless since we were given notice to vacate from the places where we were operating in Muthaiga. But we are lucky and happy to report that we have been allocated some land where we'll be also aiming to establish a state-of-the-art judiciary training academy for our judges, magistrates, and staff. We are under pressure to establish mediation suites, mediation and arbitration center for our alternative justice system, and we will also be engaging you to think of how we can have a one-stop shop where all our mediation, arbitration, and alternative justice multi-door approaches we are embracing can be done, because those places are scattered all over town and it's not even convenient to share resources. This is why the plan goes into 10 years, because it looks into the future. The next decade will phase out many things that have impeded justice, some of them being the allocation of resources, some of them being the way we operate and handle matters, because we'll be embracing technology, and the collective efforts of all in the justice sector is really, really what we are calling for and what we want to build in this vision, a partnership where there is somebody for everybody, for every stakeholder. In this same vein, I will champion a decade where all the actors called by the Constitution to deliver access to justice collaborate and cooperate with the aim of connecting the ends of justice. I appreciate the executive and the legislative arms of government for their support and willingness to support us in delivering what the Constitution has given us. That is social transformation through access to justice. As you see from the vision, the path the Kenyan judiciary has deliberately chosen since the two blueprints of societal transformation and change, the path of accountability and results, the path of transparency and openness, the path of quick and effective dispensation of justice, the path of provision of equality of services to litigants, placing a lot of emphasis on resource-based management. We in the judiciary ask ourselves every day, what have we done to earn our keep? This goal of engendering resource-based management includes the institutionalization of a reward system for high performance. And allow me at this juncture to really thank and congratulate our performance committee, led by our very able Lady Justice Agnes Murugo and your entire committee for the work that you have done. Please allow them to stand up so that we appreciate all of them, because we are here to celebrate this milestone, which is the first in Africa, because of your commitment and your resilience. It is not easy to visit these judges and look at them on their faces and ask them, where are your results? But you have done it without any fear or favor. Thank you very much, and keep up the good work. To that effect now, because of your work, we are happy to present to you, our dear guests, and our viewers who are following us online, the best performing implementing units during this fifth cycle of implementing the performance management and measurement understanding, PMMUs, in the judiciary. Ladies and gentlemen, the results that we are releasing today have categorized courts based on the number of filed cases. They show that the best performing high court stations in different categories were Makueni, Milimani Civil Division, Nakuru High Court, while in Employment and Labor Relations Court, Kisumu and Nakuru were leading in performance. In Environment and Land Court, Murang'a, Milimani and Nakuru courts were the best performing stations. There were 6 best performing magistrates courts in different categories. And these were Limuru, and I can see the Honorable Commissioner Orwande, who just left Limuru for Mavoko. I believe she will deliver the same results for the new station. Marsabit, Mombasa Magistrates Court, Engineer, Tononoka Children's Court, and Gatondo Magistrates Court. On the performance of the Kadhi's courts, we celebrate Garissa and Voi Kadhi's courts, who emerged the top performance. The best performing tribunals were the Cooperative Tribunal and the National Environment Tribunal. There was also a category of the best performing administrative units, and what was spotted as the best is the Office of the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary. Congratulations.
Naam, bila shaka huyo ni Martha Koome, rais wa idara ya mahakama, akizungumza leo hii kuhusiana na maono yake ama ruwaza yake tangu kuchukua hatamu za uongozi mnamo mwezi Mei mwaka huu 2021, akisisitiza haja ya uwazi, haja vile vile ya kutokuwa na ubinafsi